who is going to be talking with us about bachata. Hi, Christian.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Also, my pleasure.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you and your background with bachata.
I started dancing back in 2006. I moved here in 1997, and I was in high school. And back then, I was not dancing at all. I was interested in just the normal stuff, video games, and going out and partying and whatever.
Sounds like a high school guy.
Yeah, sounds like I'm a high school person. And then eventually, my mom kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Hey, you need to take lessons. Girls like Gaga, dance salsa and bachata and all different things. So I finally took a lesson, and at first it was just one lesson and I never came back. But then a couple of years later I had a girlfriend and just exactly what my mom said. I need you to learn how to dance. So I learned, I took some lessons, I learned salsa for about a year or two and loved it, and then to be honest about bachata, I actually didn't like it at all. I didn't like the music, I didn't like, it was boring, I didn't like it. And it wasn't until music started evolving a little bit, that the modern songs started to come out, like Aventura and Monchino Alexandra and all those different things. The music changed, and it was a little bit more appealing to the new generation, rather than the old generation.
It's funny that you said you didn't like the music, because I hear that a lot. When I hear people say, nope, I don't want to learn bachata, it's because they don't like the music. Can you tell me, where does the music come from?
Music comes from Dominican Republic. That's where the dance and the music comes from. Interesting enough, back in the day, in the 1940s and 50s, bachata was actually prohibited in the Dominican Republic.
Really?
So that was something that if you were caught, you would go to jail. Literally, it was prohibited by the law. And it was meant to be, it's not meant to be, but it was perceived to be a ghetto, low-class type of dance. So it was done in the low-class areas, and usually the higher up people, the more high-class people, will come down to these areas to kind of hide from everything else that's going on and then dance in this area. It's a very similar story to like the tango. Tango is very similar, and the lower class ladies will be the ones dancing down there, and the people, the musicians that were playing the instruments, they didn't have the money to really have really nice guitars, so they had like the low-class guitars where sounded very high pitch, which is why bachata back then sounded very like noisy, and then little by little music started getting better. So music comes from the Dominican Republic, and the major artists come from there, at least back then. And then the evolution of the music started where more urban styles started mixing with bachata. So Monchino Alexandra kind of made it a little bit more mainstream, and back in, I don't know, the late 90s, early 2000s. And then Aventura came along, and Aventura was, I think, one of the biggest hits, because they came from Dominican Republic, but then went to New York, and then all those influences that were all around made the music way more modern and way more appealing to the younger crowd, the people that, were like myself back then, that I was trying to find a way to like it, So that's kind of like it went, but it's from Dominican Republic originally, and then now it's just played all over the world.
That's awesome. And I find that after people start dancing in a little while, they really like it. Couples really like to dance that's danced together.
Yes.
Why? What makes it?
A lot of dances are not about the flashiness and the high pace. They're about something else. And in bachata, for example, just like tango, just like bolero, just like rumba, just like kizomba, all those dances are about passion. They're about passion and connection. So the connection is very important, and even if you learn all the steps there is for bachata, but you have no connection, then you're missing the whole point of the dance, and that is what makes it fun. It's what makes it cool. It's what fills you up when you dance bachata, and then when you switch to salsa, then you have to switch and then be like, okay, now it's time to do the flashy and the fun and spins and all those different things. And then when you go bachata, it's all about that connection, how you can make that person follow you with that connection. So I think that's why couples like it, and couples and just anybody, really, it's just that connection that you can have with someone, and even if you don't know that person, you can connect and you can let them, follow you if you're a leader, or if you're a follower, then be able to kind of have that chemistry with that person for one dance, and then you're done, And so wow, that was an experience. That was nice.
Yeah.
It was different.
Very cool.
Okay.
And where is it that you teach bachata here?
Locally, I teach in Orlando. This is my hometown. I also teach in Tampa. So that started about a year ago. So I travel every week back and forth to both cities. I have other instructors that teach with me as well.
Okay.
And locally, I teach a couple of classes a week. I do also, of course, private lessons, and many things. But I also travel almost every month, or I travel throughout the U.S. at least 15, 20 times a year, in the U.S. and then Europe and other places. It just depends throughout the year, what they have. So I teach a lot of festivals and a lot of conventions that happen all over, and they usually book me to teach a couple of workshops and also perform, do shows and things like that. So I'm all over the place.
He's demanded everywhere. Everywhere. Well, that sounds awesome. We're going to have to come to one of your festivals sometime.
Cool. That'll be awesome.
I would love it. Would you like to dance?
Yes, we can
We
dance.
should dance.
Yes, we can.
Let's dance.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Bachata.
Al despertar a tu lado es como despertar en un sueño. No hay palabras que describan lo que siento. Ay, cuando te miro, mi amorcito, siento mi corazoncito que se para. No puedo respirar.